I've got a lot of knives. You might have seen a 30-minute video I did on YouTube a couple of years ago that shows pocket knives and survival knives and all kinds of cutting tools. But one thing I didn't have was a knife that I could deploy horizontally off the belt. So now I've got one of those, and I've had it for several months, been using it, and I'm going to review it for you today. Whenever I had a knife on my hip, it was always like getting tangled up with the seat belt when I sat down, or poking into the chair, you know, somebody's leather couch or the seat of the car. I wanted to find something that I could wear horizontally at the belt. So what I got was the ESEE 3. I've had it for 6 or 8 months now and been using it really hard. It's my go-to knife now. I wear it all the time, everywhere I go, because it's so handy. Yes, it's short, but you can get it longer if you want. The ESEE 3 is 3.88 inches from tip to the handle, and it's got a 3.38 inch cutting edge. The 4 is longer, the 5 is longer than that, and the 6 is the longest. But if you want to wear one horizontally, I think a 3 or a 4 is about as long as I would want to wear comfortably at the belt. If you've got too much stuff in your pockets or on your belt, it's going to pull your pants down and be uncomfortable, But this is not bad at all. So I can take it out one-handed, like this. But then when I put it back, I hold the sheath, and as long as I can, I usually do it visually to make sure that the tip is going into the sheath and not going to cut into my hand. So I watch the blade go in there, and then I pop it in. You can do it one-handed, okay? Put it in like this, and then grip up here on this clip, and squeeze it in. So now it's in there. When you buy the knife, you get the knife and this ABS plastic sheath. Now, I have read on the forums that there are people complaining about the fact that it's not Kydex, but ABS is perfectly adequate for what this needs to do. But you don't get this clip. That's a separate item you have to buy separately. You just get this clip that closes down over your belt. These things you can adjust up or down, narrower for a smaller belt, wider for a bigger belt like mine. And then to open it, you just pull this and then squeeze these open. The sheath has this drainage groove in case you get water in the sheath, which is important because the blade is made of 1095 carbon steel, which does rust. And as you can see, I've already got some rust right here on the cutting edge, and on top where this protective coating has worn off from all the batoning I've been doing. So there you see a little patina. So is it a problem for it to rust? Well, yes. You don't want your carbon steel blade rusting, but you can prevent it by using rust inhibitors, like you can buy a cloth that you rub on the blade and it prevents rust, or you can oil it. So why carbon steel? Why not get stainless steel and not deal with the rust? For me, it's a very practical issue. I have had a lot of 1095 knives all my life, and I know how to sharpen them. And that really is the issue, because when I go for my knife, I'm not reaching for an axe, I'm not reaching for a hammer, I'm not reaching for a screwdriver or a pry bar. What I need this thing to do is cut. I've pretty much got it down as to how I can get a good cutting edge on it. I like the relatively short form factor of the whole thing, just because of the way I carry it horizontally. When you first get the knife, the micarta smells. It's got a kind of an offensive, burnt plastic smell to it that is pretty unpleasant, but it wears off after a time, and now it has no odor whatsoever. It's a 1/8 inch thick blade. If you get the mill model, it's going to come with a sharpened spine and a partly serrated edge right here, and a sharpened glass breaker pommel. It also comes in another model that has a rounded pommel. This one comes with a good coating on it, but it's wearing because of all the batoning I've done with it. This finger choil is good if you ever need to do any very close carving work right here near the end of the blade. It always makes me nervous to do that because I'm afraid I'm going to cut myself here, so I've just learn to grip it like this and keep my index finger on the grip and then get what leverage I can like this. The blade is wide, and instead of cutting off this belly and going straight to a point right here, you have this big rounded piece of metal. Now what does that do? Well, let me demonstrate. Okay, because of this belly, if I wanted to feather out a fire stick, carving it like this, I can work using the belly near the tip of the blade and use all this longitudinal force. And what that does is it doesn't tire out my wrists so much. Okay, here's what I mean. I'm feathering this out here using this big fat belly on the blade. Interesting thing for you guys is that it actually comes with a little bit more of a belly than what you see here, but I've used it so much I sharpen it down, so now it's flattening out a little bit. If you do break it, these guys guarantee it for life. So if you break it, send it, they will replace it. About this coating wearing off, I would say that that's probably normal wear and would not be covered by a warranty. I don't know if they would charge you to resurface it, but I don't think it would be a problem to put a new surface on this. The thing is, for me, it's just kind of pointless because as soon as I get it, I'm going to start wearing it off again. So I'm just going to live with it like this. Well, that's my long-term review of the ESEE 3. I'm really pleased with ESEE knives. I have found nothing about it that I don't like, and I have no hesitation recommending it to you. If you don't like this kind of knife, if you don't like 1095 steel, just leave a nasty comment. Or go find a knife you do like. Hey, thanks for watching, and go to the blog. I'll have a write-up on this knife. I'll see you there.